everyone, this is Vandana and you are watching 99.9 Engineering Station. So student, today I am going to talk about the most important interview questions based on the condensers. Hello, Hello everyone, this is Vandana and you are watching 99.9 Engineering Station. So student, today I am going to discuss the most important interview questions based on the condensers. These interview questions are very useful in the MTech and PhD admission and for the engineers who are working in the any industry. So this is my 11th episode of the interview questions series. So if till now if you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe it, otherwise you will not get any type of notification from my side. And one more thing is that you have to follow me on Telegram, because in Telegram I used to post many important questions, numerical, short notes, mind map and many more things. So follow me there and subscribe my YouTube channel. So without wasting a time, let's start with the first question, that is, what are the advantage and limitation of the direct contact condenser? So the answer for that is, the main advantage of the direct contact condenser is that there are no metal wall and fouling resistance involved, with the consequence of high heat transfer rate compared to the indirect contact condensers. Okay, and the environmental consideration include use of direct contact condenser, as the influent needs to feed from the contaminants requirements of the treatment of influent before discharge a permissible level. So because of above limitation, these are not favors anymore. ठीक है, तो except in the case of vapor containing solid that would foul heat transfer surface of the surface condensers very quickly. Okay, so this is all about the limitation and advantage of direct contact condenser. The next question is that, in the condensation of vapor from the non-condensable gas, is fog formation a desirable phenomena? Explain. So we have to explain it that the fog formation is desirable phenomena or not. ठीक है, तो for the explanation for that is that if the bulk temperature of the gas falls below the dew point of the vapors, fog formation can be take place. Okay, the droplet size in the fog are in the range of 1 to 2 micrometer. This is about the droplet size of the fog. Okay, the fog can be formed in the condensers when the ratio of the non-condensable to the condensable vapor is high and the temperature difference is high. That's why the fog is formed. The external nuclei in the inlet vapor will enhance fog formation, not desirable. This due to this all these things, the answer for that is, it is desirable or not desirable. So answer is that it is not desirable, because the fog formation hinders condensation process. The tiny droplets in fog hinders movement of vapor towards the condensing surface. So these droplets tends not to collect on the condensing surface and may be lost through the condenser vent unless special precautions are taken for the removal. Usual dimisters will not capture fog droplets. So carry over the liquid droplet out of the condenser may give rise the plumes of fog outside the vent system with environmentally objectable effect. So this is the exact answer for the questions. Now the next question is that, the third one, that is, what is the basic reason for fog formation in the condenser? The reason for that is, fogging occur in the condenser when mass transfer is slower than the heat transfer. Important point is, this is the very important point, that is, fogging occur in the condenser when mass transfer is slower than the heat transfer. So the second point for that is, the design must be provide sufficient time for mass transfer to occur. The design should be like that it provide sufficient time for mass transfer to occur. Next, the third point for that is the high delta T temperature difference will non-condensable present or a wide range of molecular weight can produce a fog. The fourth point is for that is the high delta T gives high driving force for heat transfer. The driving force for the mass transfer is however is limited to the concentration driving force, which is represented by delta Y. Between the composition of the condensable component in the gas phase and the composition of the liquid with a liquid at the tube wall temperature. The next point is that the mass transfer driving force, that is delta Y, thus has a limit. The delta T driving force can under certain condition increase to point where the heat transfer is completely overstrips the mass transfer, which produce fogging. So these are the following reason of creating the fogging formation. Okay. So the next question is, the fourth question is about the what are the way to prevent or reduce the fogging in condenser. So there are following point which prevent or reduce the fogging in the condenser. That is, first point is that by reducing delta T, thereby providing more surface area to help mass transfer. And the second point is that by minimizing delta T बाई डेल्टा वाई, मतलब इन दोनों के ड्राइविंग फोर्स को मिनिमम कर देंगे, तब जाके इनके रेशियो को मिनिमम कर देंगे, तब हमारे पास फॉगिंग कम फॉर्म होगा. ठीक है, बाय मिनिमाइजिंग डेल्टा टी अपॉन डेल्टा वाई. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज इंक्रीज इनलेट फ्लूइड सुपर हीट. The next one is filtering inlet gas to remove foggy nuclei, and the heating the vent to reduce fog. And the last one is that allowing fog to form and then removing the electrostatic precipitator or special demister which first collapse and the droplets belong before removal. Okay, so these are the point which prevent which help in preventing or removing the fogging in the condenser. The next question is, what are the way by which condenser capacity can be increased for a existing distillation unit? The reason for that, the adding additional condenser in the parallel to existing one. We have to add additional condenser in parallel to the existing one. For increasing the condenser capacity, we have to adding additional condenser in parallel to the existing one, and the adding a low delta P partial condenser upstream in the series with a existing total condenser. So these 2 points should be keep in the mind for increasing the condenser capacity. The next question is that what is the effect of subcooling in the condenser and why so? So the first thing is that the condenser capacity is reduced by increasing the effect of by the effect of subcooling in the condenser. The condenser capacity is reduced. It means the heat transfer coefficient for condensation is 20 to 30 times more than the cooling of the liquid. So subcooling, the basically what is subcooling? Subcooling leads to certain leads to a creation of the pool stagnant liquid of pools of stagnant liquid in the condenser bottom, where the submerging some tube whose contact with vapor is therefore cut off. That's why the condensate breakup can be due to the inadequate drainage of condensate or lack of provision of condensate well below the exchangers or blockage of condensate outlet. Or so next question is, what is the effect of subcooling in the condenser and why so? So first effect of this is that the condenser capacity is reduced. By effect of subcooling, the condenser capacity is reduced. Okay, the heat transfer coefficient for condensation is 20 to 30 times more than the cooling of liquid. Okay, now what is the subcooling leads to certain, why, what are the reason for subcooling lead to a certain of so the next question is, what is the effect of subcooling in a condenser and why so? So the first effect is that the condenser capacity is reduced. Okay, the second one is that heat transfer coefficient for the condensation is 20 to 30 times more than the cooling of liquid. And the third is that the subcooling lead to a certain pool of segment liquid in the condenser bottom, submerging some tube whose contact with a vapor is thereby cut off. The condensate backup can be due to the inadequate drainage of condensate or lack of provision of condensate well below the exchanger or blockage of the condensate outlet or any other reason. Therefore, the tube's surface act as a liquid cooler rather than the vapor condenser. Okay, so how this is all about the effect of subcooling. Now how is the subcooling detected in the condenser? This is our next question, that how is the subcooling detected in the condenser? So the subcooling in condenser cannot be detected during the shutdown. By observing condenser outside, the temperature is going down below the liquid bubble point is subcooling, and by observing delta P in condenser outlet line increase the delta P for condensate flow. ठीक है, तो for low boiling point, by observing indications for the moisture condensation on lower outside surface of the condenser. So this is all about the detection of the uh, subcooling. Now the next question is, what is condensate depression and how does decrease efficiency of power plant? So the difference between the saturation temperature at the existing condenser vacuum and the temperature of condensate in terms of condensate depression. This is the expressed as a number of degree of condensate depression or degree of subcooled. So excessive condensation, so the excessive condensation depression decreases the operating efficiency of the plant, because the subcooled condensate must be reheated in the boiler, which in turns requires more heat from the fuel or other heat sources. So these are the reason why does the decreasing efficiency of the power plant. The next question is about the अच्छा ठीक है, जाओ अभी आ रही हूँ. And the next question is, what is meant by the cleanliness of factor? So the cleanliness factor is defined as the 100 into U design upon U clean. It is mean U is the here is the overall heat transfer coefficient. It means cleanliness factor is the ratio of U design upon U clean into 100. So this is all about the cleanliness factor. So that's all for today's session. These are the 9 questions. किशु थोड़ा सा बता पढ़ने दो. So the next question is the second last question is, what is condensate depression and how does the efficiency of the power. So the second last question is, what is condensate depression and how does it decreases efficiency of power plant? So the answer for that is the difference between the saturation temperature at the existing condenser vacuum and the temperature of condensate is termed condensate depression. This is expressed as a number of degree condensate depression or degree subcooling. So the excessive condensate depression decreases the operating efficiency of the plant because the subcooled condensate must be reheated in the boiler, which in turns return more heat from the fuel or other heat sources. And this is all about the second last question. Now come to the last question, that is, what do you mean by the what is the what and the last question is, what is meant by cleanliness factor. So the cleanliness factor is defined as it is the ratio of the overall coefficient of design to clean into 100. It means you design upon you clean into 100 is the cleanliness factor. Okay, so this is all about the 9 question of about the condenser. So if you like my effort, then please subscribe to my channel, like and comment down below. And this is all about the interview questions based on the condenser. If you like my efforts, then please subscribe, do comments and like the video. Thank you and have a nice day.